So let's start with the movie. I asked the other guys this. I'm curious about what were you guys fans stepping in to this?
Ludi was.
So I was a massive fan of Power Rangers. It was the show that I ran home after school to watch and got up early in the morning on Saturdays to watch, you know. But what's interesting, I think, is like I was an original fan of the series, but some of the younger cast, like RJ and Becky, they grew up watching the series too. So this is a legacy that spans across, you know, all ages in a long time.
Nice. And so you guys were new to it then?
Yeah.
I do remember the Power Rangers. Like, I remember playing Power Rangers. I remember playing Power Rangers with my brother, and we would like fight, and very specifically we would sing the theme, the Go Go Power Rangers, and then run and like wrestle. And that's a very vivid memory that I have. But I think that goes to show that even if you didn't watch the series, it had some sort of effect on you, or you wanted to be a Power Ranger. So yeah.
What did you, when you played, what Ranger would you be?
Gosh, I can't remember, but I feel like I do remember my favorite color being red. And I know, like, as kids, you always gravitate to your favorite color.
Sure.
So I feel like maybe I wanted to be red. I think it was probably red, yeah.
Do you think you could take him to become red?
What, take
him
over?
on? Yeah, take over.
Oh,
In the
yeah,
sequel.
100%.
In the sequel.
In the sequel, that's actually what happens. Kimberly,
The pink darkens to a red
to
hue.
a red hue, yeah.
The red hue ranger.
Exactly.
And then you go what, to a...
I'm just gone. I'm not in it. It
Just
can't be
into
too,
the abyss.
Into the
Not
abyss.
room for two
He goes
red.
up and joins Rita in space, I think.
I take a trip to Alaska.
Become the White Ranger, the Polar Bear Ranger.
Yeah.
Polar
Polar Ranger.
Is you're gonna pull a remnant, kill a polar bear, and wear it as a
Yes, the
suit.
Revenant Ranger.
Oh,
Ranger.
Revenant.
The
That
Bloody
is in
Ranger.
the
Now that would be
sequel, the
cool.
bear attack.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
gonna be amazing.
That's me in the sequel. Except
Nice.
I'm the bear because I'm the Polar Bear Ranger.
Good point. Good point.
I'm fighting myself.
How did you get involved? What was the audition process like?
I was finishing up university in back home in Australia, and I kind of literally happened over 4 days. And I did an audition. I had this tape floating around that made its way to the casting director, and they flew me over, and I tested, and then they announced the next day that I had the role. So it was like this crazy kind of overnight process, and I took my mum, and we came here to Los Angeles, and neither of us had ever been to LA before. And then it kind of happened, and then I went back and graduated with the rest of my class.
Wow.
Graduated university and turned 21 and trained for the film, and then we went and shot it in Vancouver.
Speaking of training, what was the training like for this? Because you guys, it's definitely more of a PG-13 film as
Right.
opposed to a PG kids movie.
Yeah, the training process was vigorous. It was tough. Before I even got to Vancouver, I was training in London, where I live, and I think what's interesting though is I think it was more for the stamina to get through the shoot, like as an actor. It wasn't just an aesthetic kind of thing. It wasn't. It was actually, it's such a physical movie. You have to be strong, and to do these stunts and to make it, realistic and all of those things, you have to train really hard. And these kids are in high school, and especially as playing a girl in high school, I wanted, she's a kid in high school. She's not, necessarily a model kind of type. So I didn't, I think that's how both Becky and I viewed it. But, there's a balance because you have to be superhero, so you also want to be strong and fit. So that's how I viewed it.
Now, one of the things that I kind of liked about it, and I think it got to me personally, was that Breakfast Club scene. And I don't know if it was supposed to be a Breakfast Club scene. Was that?
I think so.
Yeah, I think it's definitely reminiscent, and I think that's what makes it such a unique superhero film, is that it's like a coming-of-age story.
Yeah.
Kind of like Breakfast Club. Those teenagers don't know what they're doing. They don't know who they are. They're kind of just figuring out. It's that crazy sort of flux time in your life, and that's what's so relatable, I think, about this film, and definitely was worked into that space, and we were encouraged to think of it like that, like the Breakfast Club from the beginning, given that reference material from the director, Dean Israelite, to work with. And I hope the audience can feel that way, like, oh, it's like the Breakfast Club, and the Breakfast Club's so iconic, for a reason. So yeah, it's kind of exciting to have that reminiscent sort of taste of that film.
Yeah, I actually loved that part. I love the getting to know you guys characters.
Yeah.
I love that it wasn't just in the suits.
That was one of our favourite scenes, actually. So I'm glad that you think that. I think for us as actors and where our characters were at that time, it was a really kind of emotional and
Throwing the notes around by the end, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, how cool would it be for the kids these days to watch it and feel like that, like when we saw the Breakfast Club?
Well, yeah, I think there's something, especially in this day and age. Kids are different. Kids are there's more diverse.
Absolutely.
I think they need that.
Is to remind me of my screw up?
You know, I don't think we're ever going to understand each other. They're going to come here every Saturday just to graduate with all these other weirdos and criminals.
I keep a close watch on this heart of mine. I keep
So, this is where you come every Saturday instead of practice. Tragic.
I keep the ends out for the tie that bind.
Hey, it's a restricted area.
Guys?
There's something in there.
Dilly, what are you doing?
Guys,
What is it? Security.
somebody should have pointed that out. Wait, I did.
You know something happened up there, okay? I'm not the same.
I'm strong.
How strong?
Insanely strong. No.
I feel like we need to go back up there.
I'm gonna jump across with her, and then you jump.
Piece of cake.
Let's go.
No, don't jump. Jason! That's not a piece of cake!
I've killed rangers before.
It's happening!